Hello, everyone, and welcome to the supporter watch-along for El Paso Locomotive's trip to Las Vegas Lights. I'm your host, as usual, Phil Bakke. Today, I'm joined by Christian Canales. Christian, what's up?
Not much. Glad to be back. Had to miss last week's. Was a little bit of a barn burner.
Yeah.
So sorry to miss that, but hopefully they put on another show today.
Well, and you can let everybody know where you were at. Go ahead and flex. It's fine.
I was just at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun, just chilling. But I think I might have rather been here. I don't know.
So yeah, we got Christian back, and we're gonna hopefully enjoy a good game here. Locomotive's first ever trip to Cashman Field. Me and Mika talked last night on the episode about it, just how much of a graveyard Cashman Field has been for a lot of teams in terms of getting wins. Vegas, a much different team at home than on the road. We saw their one solitary away win at the Swap. Do you think Locomotive can deal them a little bit of revenge at their house this time around?
I hope so. When they came here, we were just looking at the stats right now. We dominated really, and just got unlucky. I think that this team is a little bit different than it was then. As far as attacking wise, I hopefully there have been enough goal scorers on the team since that game. I think at that point it really was basically just Jerome and no more than one goal for everyone else besides Edson maybe. So hopefully everyone's a little more comfortable and we can get a few more contributions in the attack.
Yeah, certainly hoping so. Promising signs in the last game, despite the fact that we did draw. A lot of good chances, and hopefully Locomotive can create with this lineup they've got set up today. For those of you who haven't seen the lineup yet, Logan Ketterer starts in goal as per usual. James Kiffey, Chiro Ntoko, Andrew Fox, and Brian Rebillon make up that back line. So a little more stability on that back line, kind of more similar to what we're used to seeing. Drew Becky, the only notable absence, still out due to the concussion protocols following that blow to the head that he took against RGV. So, I mean, how do you feel about that back line?
I'm happy with it. I think Chiro there is always a big plus. And then, like you said, missing Drew is kind of a bummer, but Foxy fills in pretty well back there, and with Kiffy and Brian, on the wings and the back, can't really go wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely kind of what we'd expect, and in a very good way, I think. The one thing that we'll definitely be looking for is a slightly improved performance, maybe a little less risk taking this time around, because obviously both of Tulsa's goals coming from those situations where we're trying to play out from the back, and we know how good all of our defenders can be on the ball, but in that case, little lacking. So we're hoping for a little more sharpness today. But they do have their biggest outlet back, Richie Ryan, back after serving the one-game suspension for the red card against RGV. Him and Yuma sitting in that midfield. That always has a degree of kind of comfort seeing both Richie and Yuma in the lineup.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing them two back there is kind of like a warm blanket. You can't really go wrong. I think that I wasn't able to watch the last game, so I don't know exactly what things look like. But with Chapa back there, I don't think it's just not the same. He's a young player, and so I think there's still a lot he has to learn. But you have two solid, level-headed veterans in Yuma and Richie playing right there. I think that's good, and I think that makes the defense more comfortable too, knowing that they have a reliable outlet.
Yeah, and then going forward, we see a return for Sebastian Velasquez, who missed out against Tulsa with a little bit of a knock that he picked up in training. Clearly not too bad, as he's back into the starting lineup. We also see a return for Omar Salgado, and a return after a long layoff for Nick Ross. So happy with those options as we kind of creep towards that front line.
Yeah, we'll see what Ross can do. Back in the starting lineup, I think he had to be pretty happy with what Edson had done. With his opportunities there, and so hopefully, I think he is on the bench today. So hopefully, if he gets a chance to come on, he's got a little fire in him, and he wants to get back in that starting 11 again. So hopefully we can get some good minutes out of him if needed.
And Jerome Kiesewetter back up top. Hopefully he can continue, especially scoring a goal in that last game. Maybe he can get rolling again. His 11th of the season and his first one since about May. So hopefully we will be seeing some more production out of him. We're looking right now at the highlights or lowlights maybe from the last
on who you are.
The last performance against Vegas at home. 75% possession for Locomotive, 10 shots, just 4 on target, but come away with a 1-0 loss despite completely dominating the game. And Tabor Itaka, who starts up top for Las Vegas, was the goal scorer on that day. So we're hoping for a little bit, we're hoping for revenge at Cashman Field. Looking at Vegas's lineup, they've got Olsen in goal, Lopez, Robinson, Torres, and Torre. Javon Torre, you guys may remember, scored an absolute screamer against New Mexico in the 5-1 thrashing of New Mexico at Cashman Field. So it's one of those where you obviously enjoy a good beating of New Mexico, but it also serves a little bit of a warning of what is possible when Vegas are on at home. You can come away with a pretty bad beatdown.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely a team to be afraid of. Their position in the table, at least from what we've seen, especially when they're playing at home, is not. It's not a completely accurate showing of the kind of team they can be, and I think we just saw the standings on the TV right now. They have a -5 goal differential. So, what that also tells me is that home or not, there's certainly something to take advantage of back there. And that's, like we said, in one game they had a 4+ goal differential alone, and they're still sitting at -5. So,
right.
They can be scored on, definitely.
And then in the midfield, Villarreal, De La Fuente, and Fair. So they play kind of a 4-3-3 system with Fair as the most defensive, and then Sandoval, Tabor Itaka, and even Para, who is their top scorer so far this season. Even Para has been the main threat. I think a lot of this comes down to, as we saw at Southwest University Park, we have to limit them from set pieces, but they do have some danger men, especially Para up front, who can be a big threat to us.
Yeah, 10 goals on the year for him. That's definitely something to make sure you take note of, and hopefully we can. I think 9 of them were from open play, so just got to make sure that we close down on him as soon as he gets the ball. Don't give him too much space there.
Absolutely. And Vince Navoa, thanks for joining in the chat. Glad you listened to the new episode this morning. I know it's like a lot of kind of content back to back, but we've got, when games are coming thick and fast, we're trying to keep up with everything as well. Vegas with their weird kind of pre-match stuff that goes on. There's a helicopter landing on the pitch. I know in the past they've done some kind of like run for the cash or something like that, where they drop money from the helicopter and then people run to try to grab as much as possible.
I read that they're doing that tonight too, actually. So,
oh, are they?
Yeah.
I think we're about to witness the.
Yeah, I don't know when it gets done, but the little piece that Arlia wrote for the game mentioned that they were doing that tonight. Okay.
Their mascot has dismounted from the helicopter.
He's an Elvis impersonator. That's awesome.
And they're going to take a look at the lineups right now. There's a lot of people in USL who have kind of had their say about Las Vegas and their kind of their crazy promotional stuff and all this stuff. How do you feel about kind of the gimmicks of like we're gonna throw money down, or like the weird little wading pools, like kiddie pools they have on the side of the field, like all that kind of stuff? Like how do you feel about that?
I don't really care, man. Like, more power to them. I mean, they're, as a soccer team, especially like I don't mean to, like, I guess minimize the USL, but like as a minor league team,
Yeah.
You're 100% there, to put on a show for the fans. That's how it is in any minor league. When you talk about baseball too, the lower you get in the leagues, kind of the more gimmicky they are and the more fun they are to go to, honestly.
Absolutely. And Vegas get things underway, long ball forward, and it is out the back. Kind of a typical tactic that you'll see across the world game, as that first long ball kind of goes forward just to test to make sure the other team's awake, but it's way too long and out the back for a goal kick. The long distribution there, Locomotive's way, looking for Omar, is out for a throw.
Angle? Yeah,
we are at a very it's a very close up shot. Like there's very little context being provided by this shot. As some good pressure here from Locomotive early, and Jerome Kieswetter will try to chase this down, but a foul's been given Vegas's way. Calling this a must-win match for Vegas. I think both teams kind of feel that way about it. Getting to the part of the season, Mark Lowry said it in his post-match that 3 points aren't enough anymore, or 1 point isn't enough anymore, even on the road when you've got only 9 games left to try to clinch a playoff spot. So both teams obviously sitting just outside the playoff picture and will be really searching for that 3 points today.
Yeah, and that bottom half of the playoff table is super narrow, I think, with a win, and if everything else stood the way it was, we'd end up going from, I think we're in 13th right now, to 9th. So it's a huge deal. And with a tie, I think we're still in, 12th. So just like you said, and just like Mark said, every game is a game where we need 3 points. That one on the road is just not acceptable anymore.
Referee already becoming a focal point. Couple of soft fouls given there, and Yuma protesting his innocence, which I think he had a point in that. I think the foul given was quite soft, as this long ball from Vegas out towards the wacky waving inflatable arm men behind the goal. That's got to be so strange for a goalkeeper as well to have those back there.
Yeah, that's a little like you're so. I just wonder how much of it comes into your field of vision and how much of it's got you distracted.
As Locomotive with a decent link up in midfield, Yuma does well to win the foul there. The challenge coming in from Para. The referee's showing me these early few moments that he's not going to really let things flow. It's going to be start and stop kind of throughout.
A very long game, and with the way things go in USL, we might not see any stoppage time. So we'll just have to wait till the end of the half to see. Fair point.
Kiffy getting forward down this left-hand side. He tries to roll the ball through for Kieswetter. The ball doesn't really have the amount of pace that it needs.
I think that's Ross, actually.
Oh, it is Rossi who chased it down. Wins it back, and now Seb Velasquez with a chance on the ball. Rolls it back out to Kiffy. Velasquez able to turn. Richie Ryan plays it back in for Kiffy. Back through for Velasquez. Cross comes in. Omar Salgado was waiting at the far post, but just deflected away from him. Omar lofts a cross back in. It might fall here for Nick Ross. Nick Ross puts a cross back in, and it's cleared still just in front of the keeper. It is still in play with Nick Ross. Reverses the ball to Kiffy. Can he keep it in? And no, he cannot quite keep it in. Really good idea from Nick Ross. Yeah, that's what I'm not sure, Vince, how the synchronization, I guess, goes of a stream. I know streams are tough to kind of sync up. So yeah, if we're a little bit behind, I mean, you I guess you could pause for a little bit and let us catch up, but no, just yeah, I guess it's reminiscent of the old times where like watching baseball games at home where my parents would turn the TV off and we'd listen to the radio feed, despite the fact that it was way ahead of what was happening on TV. As Kiffy able to, no, it is a. I'm not really sure what the signal is there. I'm assuming it's a foul against Kiffy. He went in with a high boot. Obviously, it's a good thing he didn't make contact. He has eyes for the ball the whole time, but it is a raised boot, foul given, and Vegas now with a chance from just outside the area out on that right wing for Vegas, and it's Villarreal standing over it. Left-footed, figure he'll swing this into a dangerous area and see if Vegas can get on the end of it. It's not a dissimilar position to where they scored the goal in El Paso.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone has remembered what happened that time, and it's one of those things where it worked last time, so very likely we may see the same thing again, and just hopefully we're wise to it. To catch up, you can try just calling out what's going to happen right here.
Villarreal, I think, tried to sneak that one past Ketterer. Ketterer catches easily. Kind of a poor free kick in the end. Not sure if he was trying to figure Ketterer anticipated the cross and wouldn't expect him to drive it in low. I believe it's a handball. He's let play go on.
I think he was trying to play advantage, but
yeah, no advantage really materialized at that point. Vegas wins the ball back, and they'll roll it out as it must be a player down. The camera angle, again, not wide enough for me to actually see.
Or maybe the ref did end up calling it back.
So he's given the throw to Locomotive. He's
very confusing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Locomotive, though, out in the white kit with the blue shorts against Vegas's black on black. They've played the ball back to Vegas because of the kind of confusion, I guess. So sportsman-like play there from Locomotive, long ball forward into the waiting arms of Ketterer. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of style so far. Vegas looking like they're gonna kind of play the long ball and then press once they give away possession.
Yeah, I mean that always scares me. Oof,
came through the back of Jerome Kiesewetter there. Thought it might have been a potential foul, but this ball forward from Yuma up towards Omar Salgado has got him out on that right wing. Cross comes in towards the far post, looking for Nick Ross, just headed behind by Vegas, and it is going to be a corner kick for Locomotive here in the 8th minute. Good ball in from Omar Salgado out on that right wing. Obviously, they've got him out there so he can cut onto his left to create potential goals, but in this case, he delivers a good ball in, just headed behind, and James Kiffy will have the chance to deliver this corner.
Yeah, honestly, the crossing has improved so much since the beginning of the season. Every now and then you'll see the flashes of what we used to be, those crosses to no one, but I don't know if it was just a matter of getting to know Mark and how he wants those balls played, or just working just communicating with each other, but I think there's been a drastic improvement.
Nothing from the corner, and now Vegas going the other way. Taborda breaking into the box. Even Para. No, it was my mistake. It was Villarreal coming in from that right-hand side, and what a save from Ketterer from point-blank range. They countered so quickly there down that left-hand side. It started with the long throw from Olsen, and they literally played about 2 passes before Taborda got into a good area, and it's a great strike from Villarreal, and an even better save from Logan Ketterer to tip it over the bar. It is a corner for Vegas. So the first instance, we go first corner for Locomotive, straight down the other end to the first corner for Vegas, and the first real chance for Locomotive to defend a dangerous situation here. Just as we're approaching the 9-minute mark, corner comes in, and Para was nearly on the end of that one, but it is in the end hooked away. Velasquez, I think, got the definitive touch there for Locomotive. It is held in, though, by Vegas. Cross in is deflected, and I think it'll go out, and it will be a corner kick. deflected off a Locomotive player and behind. Vegas will get another chance from the corner here. The first corner looked pretty dangerous.
Yeah, and it frustrates me when they get those set pieces and then we're not able to. Once we stop it, we just end up right back in the same place.
And it's Tabor Ataka over to deliver this one in, and it is met by a Vegas head. It was Sandoval charging in there, number 88, and he made contact but got underneath it. It's well over the bar, and Logan will have another goal kick taken fairly quickly out to Fox. Fox and Kiffy combining. Trying to play out from the back here. Fox eventually plays the long ball up for Jerome Kiesewetter, who gets underneath it, has time to turn, and then just takes a bad touch. Not sure if it just took a little bit of a bobble off of the surface there.
Doing a little limp there.
Yeah, and hopefully he starts moving freely again as a long throw comes in. Sandoval chasing this one down. Chiro and Toko marking him in that corner. Sandoval holding him off, and then whips a, I guess, cross in, which Ketterer able to collect. Strange that it stayed in play. It looked like it was headed out for sure, and then it spun right along the end line.
Yeah, props to Sandoval for the control there.
And now Locomotive trying to break back the other way. It has been a little bit end to end, not so much the controlled performance as we normally see, as Kiffy plays a long ball looking for Omar. He's in behind, but it's just a little too long, and Olsen able to collect. Really, really good spot one from Kiffy. Good run from Omar Salgado, and the pass just had a touch too much on it for Omar to get on the end of it, because he was through on goal if he could get on the end of it.
Absolutely, it was a great pass, just a little bit too long. Omar just not quite able to reach it.
Vegas now trying to play out the back themselves. They've had some success moving the ball as Yuma slides in, able to win it, and it falls to the feet of Omar. Plays it central to Richie, and he'll reset things back to Fox, out wide to Kiffy. Kiffy under a little bit of pressure there and is able to play it back to Logan.
I think they called a foul there.
Yeah, foul eventually given against Vegas for that infringement on James Kiffy. Kiffy grabbing an assist in one of the two goals scored in that 71 seconds against Tulsa, where they stormed back and grabbed that draw. The other assist being provided by Omar Salgado, who was playing on the left once he came on in that game, but is playing on the right tonight. Trying to offer that little bit more, I think, a little bit more dynamic and unpredictable attacking threat, as that back pass from Lights Lopez back towards his own goal was nearly tracked down by Jerome Kiesewetter, but unable to control it. In Vegas now breaking through Locomotive's press. Nice little intricate passing through midfield. Chiron Toko eventually gets the definitive touch to win the ball back and wins a throw for Locomotive. Well done there from Locomotive's captain, number 3, Chiro Toko, to intervene, because that was looking a little bit dangerous from Vegas, and they have looked dangerous in their passing, especially going down their left-hand side.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good passing or if the defense just needs to tighten up a little bit.
Kiesewetter on the ball. These last few games he's dropped deeper to receive the ball, try to get involved a little bit more, try to be involved in the link-up play. Me and Mika were talking about how it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because you do want him. He's a talented player. You want him on the ball, but at the same time you want him on the end of those crosses.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily want him to start so deep that he can't be in the box able to get on the end of something if it arises. As Locomotive trying to play out from the back here. Fox switching play out wide towards Rebellon, who's under pressure, has to be careful here. And Ketterer will opt to go back out to Rebellon. Well done from the pair of them. Logan doing well to spot that, and Rebellon doing well to give him the option as he slides a good ball through for Omar Salgado. Omar one-on-one against his man. He'll put a cross in towards the far post.
Ooh.
Nick Ross was setting up to strike it, but it's just headed behind. Las Vegas concede the corner there, and it is another involvement from Omar Salgado putting a dangerous cross in towards that back post. Nick Ross more often than not the man on the receiving end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's probably one of the shorter guys on the field.
Yeah.
Though.
The corner is going to be taken by James Kiffey. We are just about to hit the 15-minute mark of this first half. As Kiffey lofts this cross in towards the far post, again headed behind, and little shove from the keeper on Jerome Kieswetter, but he gave the foul against Locomotive. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was say, how many times does a keeper get called for a penalty while defending a corner?
So Marco, well, first off, welcome. I'm glad you're listening to or tuned in for this. The eighth notch protest is Vegas getting forward here. Sorry, I'll get back to your question in a second. Para plays it out wide. Tabora Taka trying some tricks on the edge of the area, tries to get a cross in, well defended in the end by Brian Rebillon, and he'll opt to recycle things. Cross eventually does come in, though, for Vegas. Fox just about deals with it. Nick Ross with a flat ball across the back four. Dangerous there. It is still able to be cleared. I think it's Omar Salgado who actually makes the clearance in the end. Vegas able to go again, though, because it's only cleared. It's not fully cleared out. And Vegas still have the ball out here on this left wing. Play it into the feet. On the edge of the area. Chance here for Vegas as they break through. Oh. Well done from Andrew Fox in the center to get that ball away. Rebillon misses his clearance, though, and Vegas, the danger is not over yet, and it is into the side netting. The shot came in from just outside the box from that wide area, and in the end, it was actually Torres, the defender, who took that one on from a tight angle, but doesn't connect well enough, luckily, and it's into the side netting. Locomotive have a reprieve. The eighth notch protest during the first half was born out of more or less like a game day procedural thing that changed, where the eighth notch marches to the match before the match, and when they march, they showed up to the gate. They normally have their own lane to get into the stadium, being the supporters group, and that wasn't provided. Not a big deal. They were sent to the back of the line. They came in, and then obviously the Noche de Locos scarves were being distributed. They were told that there were none left. And then once all of the eighth notch members came into the stadium, the team was seen distributing more scarves at the gate. So eighth notch wasn't upset about not getting the scarves necessarily or not getting the special treatment. They were upset because it seemed as if the club had intentionally kept them from getting something that they would have gotten if they had just attended the match normally. And so that was ultimately the crux of the issue, and it was more of a straw that broke the camel's back rather than one incident that got them upset. They just felt as if the club, it should be a kind of a give and take relationship.
Ooh.
A really bad tackle there from Sebastian Velasquez from Torres. I'd be shocked if this isn't a red. I know I was like deep in the throes of a question, but
that was just gross.
He's not playing the ball at all. He rakes his studs straight down the calf of Sebastian Velasquez. I mean, this is a red all day. Like, in my mind, it's a clear red.
You forget that. You forget what league we're playing in, Phil. But I'm with you that there's no way this should not be a red. But
there's no intent to play the ball. Has he even been booked?
I think he's going back to him.
Okay, it is just going to be a yellow, but when we watch this back, Vegas can be.
He's like 5 yards away from getting anywhere near the ball.
He's nowhere near the ball. That's a red. I'm sorry.
Ridiculous.
That's a red card all day. If there's no intent to play the ball whatsoever, a yellow card is if there's intent to play the ball, but you accidentally take the guy out. There was no intent to play the ball there. That was just purely cynical, trying to take down and potentially injure Sebastian Velasquez. That's an absurd decision. That should be a red all day. As Chiro and Toko heads this away.
And before you get back to continue the question, I have to say that was a great run by Velasquez too, that we weren't able to address.
Yeah, absolutely. Velasquez was streaming through the midfield. Nobody able to stop him. Lots of space to run into, and Torres did the only thing he felt he could do, which was foul Velasquez by sliding through the back of his legs, studs up. And Torres, in my mind, extremely lucky to still be on the field. Because obviously we've seen straight red cards for much less for Locomotive players this season.
And
as Light's putting a cross in here, Ketterer does well to catch it.
Is going to be another one of those things like the Phoenix game, where nothing happened with the goalkeeper confrontation with Partida, where I'm afraid that any sort of tough foul is going to be seen as like an act of aggression, and so there's
like
going to start
retribution.
Now there's going to be overreaction from the referee. So
yeah,
that's always my concern.
Very possible. Is Locomotive playing out from the back again, not shirking their ideals in this one, after the couple of goals given up in Tulsa, but Vegas able to win that one back as the header just kind of evaded Omar Salgado, and now we are across the 21-minute mark into the 22nd minute. Vegas playing it across their back line, and lucky to still be playing with 11.
Yeah, definitely.
It was Torres in the midfield who took that one for the team, and I think he can be find himself extremely fortunate to still be playing. Vegas opting to play this around their defense, and then through midfield, Yuma with a decent challenge, but Vegas able to hold on to it. Turning on the ball, Vegas going forward. Shot comes in, blocked by Chiro and Toko. Really well done as well, because it turned into a clearance, the block shot, and now another tackle on Velasquez, which he kind of pulled out of.
Yeah, he's like, yikes.
Because he wasn't about to try to be two-footed by a Vegas player. That was Javan Torre flying into that challenge on that occasion, as Velasquez tries the long ball forward, blocked away by Sandoval, and Locomotive will have a throw. Been a breathless couple of minutes in this one since that potential red card incident. And Locomotive now play it back to Logan, who will look for that pass, finds the feet of Richie Ryan, and now he'll look to advance the ball a little bit, relieve some pressure on Locomotive. Vegas obviously have played most of this game. Richie with a nice little flick out wide to Nick Ross, showing off a little bit of the tricks.
Vegas's pressure has done really well for them. I think that they do have us flustered a lot of times as Logan gives the ball away
puts
there.
the ball into touch.
So you have to give them credit for that. I think it is really disruptive to how Mark wants to play.
Yeah, and Vegas back on the ball here, playing down this right-hand side.
Oof.
Richie Ryan.
It's rough. No foul.
Came in for the ball. Referee says he won it, and I'll take it. Yuma spraying a long pass looking for Jerome Kiesewetter, header away by Robinson, and it does just enough to keep it out of the path of the orthodontist who was streaming down that left-hand side, made a really good run in behind, and Yuma with a really good pass to find him as well, just not able to connect because of that intervention from Vegas. It is played out now. Locomotive have a throw. Mark Lowry with just some instructions there for Nick Ross, and we get a shot of U.S. men's national team legend Eric Winalda, who's had kind of a mixed tenure at Vegas. Just given, you'd expect a guy of his stature to be a little bit more impactful, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard. As a coach, you can only do so much.
Right.
And they're a young team, obviously, too. So I think that if his tenure continues, that going forward, you'll probably see some more success.
Some good football in the midfield from Locomotive leads to Nick Ross getting down the left-hand side. He's kind of run into a blind alley. I think he's been fouled there. I think it should be a foul. Villarreal whistled for the foul against Nick Ross. So Locomotive with a free kick in a pretty dangerous area, not dissimilar to a corner kick, essentially what they've earned here. Down in that left-hand corner, James Kiffey with another chance to deliver a ball in, and hopefully someone can get on the end of this one.
Yeah, we'll see. Is it going to be Kiffey that's taking it? It looks like he's moving back in.
It could be Richie Ryan as well. Oh, no, Kiffey just over to have a talk with Nick Ross, discussing some plans, some machinations for this set piece.
Yeah, let's see what sort of trickery they come up with here.
See if maybe he lays this one back for Ross towards the edge of the box. We'll see. He's taking an interesting run up. Cross comes in and is headed towards the far post. It's just wide, and it was Andrew Fox in the center. There's a lot of just a massive bodies in the center.
Yeah, once that came off his head, it seemed like it was in the air for a long time there.
Yeah. The keeper Olsen was just watching it as it kind of floated towards that far post, and really nothing that anyone could have done about it, no matter what direction it was going. Yeah. As it just spun out of play just wide of that far post. Decent chance for Locomotive, but and really still waiting for the first real test of Olsen in Vegas's goal, as now Vegas getting forward through Sandoval.
Oh,
shot came in just wide. That shot from distance
still had Ketterer a little bit concerned.
Yeah, it had him diving. Sandoval taking that shot on. I do think Logan may have had it covered, but yeah, definitely was not. Did not take it going around the post for granted.
Yeah,
did Logan. So now they'll play out from the back again. Rebillon with a decent little flick around the corner. Omar Salgado trying to get on the end of it. He's being fouled completely, and I think this is probably something that Lights have spoken about, in that, don't let Salgado turn and get the ball to his feet. We know the referee won't book anybody for holding players. It's normally just giving a free kick and you move on. Mm-hmm. So why not grab a hold of Omar there and just, you give away a free kick, but you can reset the defense, and now the counter is, less likely at that point, as that ball's deflected through. Nick Ross trying to get on the end of it, but it was headed away, and now Lights getting forward. Tabori Taka trying to play a ball through. Sandoval on it. He's turned again, taking a shot on from distance. He is not shy of shooting from there. Played out wide now. Lopez out on this right-hand side. Lights with a little 1-2. It's played in central for Tabori Taka. Lights now just having to reset a little bit, as Locomotive able to close down the space, not allow Lights in after that initial shot was blocked from Sandoval. Kiesewetter providing some pressure from the front, but Vegas able to play through that down this left-hand side. Cross comes in from the left, headed away by Fox, brought down on the chest by Ross, and then played back for James Kiffey. And now Locomotive will look to break the other way, as that's kind of been the pattern of the game, just blow for blow, Sebastian Velasquez on another run, and it's another bad foul. Sandoval getting a yellow as well. It's just been Velasquez on the run twice, and now 2 Vegas players booked for bringing him down with just no opportunity to play the ball whatsoever, and actually a little bit of a shove to the back of the neck there.
I think that's what the card was for, really. Yeah. I think there was just a slight tug on the jersey that maybe might have just gotten a free kick, but I think the little extracurricular then while Velasquez was already going down is what warranted the card.
Yeah. Kind of swings out at him for no reason.
Yeah, and I can't read lips, but it looked like Sandoval was saying, like, he was raising a number 1 at him, so I hope that was not him saying, like, it was my first foul, why are you carding me? It's because you shoved him to the ground.
And now Winalda actually getting involved with the fourth official, and now the center referee had a little talk with Winalda as well. Could be about just what he said to the referee, as that ball was aimed out towards Kiffy coming down that left-hand side from Yuma, but it was headed back into the arms of Olsen by Lights, and they'll restart possession here. We've played just about half an hour.
It's been a fun game.
Yeah, this thing is pretty finely poised as far as these games go. Both teams offering some threat as now a hard challenge came
Foxy,
in,
I think.
and it was Para and Richie Ryan, I think, colliding there.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right. It must have been Richie.
And it was a pretty violent collision there as they both went up for the header. It'll take a replay for me to see. Richie definitely coming off the worst of the two. Hopefully he's all right, but it does look like he took a little bit of a shot to the head. And, as you know, like, head injuries taken seriously as they should be. But pretty much immediately puts Richie's involvement in the rest of the game under threat. So hopefully the collision not too bad.
I think he just got the wind knocked out of him, is what I think it was from the fall. I'm hoping
that's what happened. Para came in and just a little bit of a I don't know. It's almost kind of contact with his shoulder or back.
Right, yeah, right between the shoulders, maybe.
Just kind of as he came up, Para just had a little, like, the way he went for the header just kind of connected with Richie instead. And now the center referee having another talk with Eric Winalda there on the sideline, and I think in the way that he gestured to the fourth official, I believe it's probably down to something he said or his, like, conduct towards the fourth official, because obviously managers can be sent off if their conduct is not I guess respectful of the referees. So Winalda with two instances now where he's been spoken to by the center ref. I doubt there will be a third.
Yeah, I wonder how many times he's ever tried to pull the "Do you know who I am" card.
I have no idea what this Flava Flav, like, llama or sheep.
I think does it have a horn? It might be a unicorn. I can't tell if there's a horn or not.
But yeah, Vince,
anyway,
we're trying to work out
step your game up, Eighth Notch. Get a giant mask.
We need more mascots.
Yeah.
More mascots in Eighth Notch.
Get a giant Thomas the Train face.
Yeah. I will say decent showing from Vegas's crowd tonight. Cashman, there's a reason that the minor league baseball team has moved to a new stadium. Cashman, not the newest venue, not the nicest venue, but the supporters group behind the goal seem to be having quite a fun time, and you like to see that at any USL venue.
Yeah, definitely, and no matter whose team you're cheering for, it's always fun to see. It's good to see, especially if you are just happy. Having your local team, the best way to do is, for the league to thrive, and for the league to thrive, the fans have to show up. So it's always good to see.
There's some decent link up in midfield for Locomotive, but it was won back by Vegas. Their long ball looking for Sandoval.
It's good coverage by
Ushered
Chiro
out by Chiro,
keeping up with him.
Yeah, well done. Chiro not known for his not known for his pace necessarily, but when he's called upon, he definitely can reach a different gear, I would say.
Yeah, he's maybe got about 2 or 3 of those a game in him.
As Seb Velasquez on another run and finds a ball forward for Omar Salgado. He's got options here in the center. Jerome Kiesewetter and Nick Ross. Salgado turns his man. Can he find the right option? Velasquez from a narrow angle crosses, and it's put behind in the end by Vegas. Good opportunity there for Locomotive. He tried to find Kiesewetter at the far post. I mean, it's not a bad idea, obviously, but when you get into those type of positions, you almost just want someone to rip it.
Yeah, I think you give yourself a better chance of a good shot if you just take take that first or second touch and let the ball go, instead of maybe getting a chance for a cross, and if not that, then having a much tighter angle to make a shot.
But it is a corner for Locomotive. Kiffy over to take this one. It's the first one from that side of the field. It's the Locomotive's right flank. And he will swing this one in towards the far post, caught by Olsen. You can see what they were looking for with both Kiesewetter and Fox at that far post, but in the end, not high enough to evade the hands of Olsen, who catches pretty easily. And now Lights will go back the other way. Just about 10 minutes left to play in the half, and it's still all to play for.
Yeah, and I think hopefully there'll be a decent amount of stoppage time too. 2 cards and an almost injury, at least a stoppage for a possible injury.
Or a possible red, I guess.
Yeah, that too.
Foul now given Locomotive's way, and perhaps with the couple of rough fouls from Vegas, perhaps Locomotive just getting a little bit of credit, I guess, in the referee's book. In terms of, now if Vegas is causing most of the problems, maybe they'll be the ones who are on the end of the questionable decision the borderline decision.
Yeah, I never assume that that's going to happen. I just assume that things are just going to turn terribly for us as a result of that.
In terms of managing expectations, that's definitely the correct way to do things. As Locomotive with a nice little sequence of play out there from the back, they find Rebellon, who rolls it into the feet of Omar Salgado, running at his man. Can he work the right cross? And it's deflected, and it's behind for another corner. I'd like to see Omar cut it onto his left and try to create a shot.
He's done that 0 times out of maybe 4 chances this game, and he continues to go down the right. But we'll see. Hopefully that's a talking point, come halftime.
Vince is saying he spotted a guy in a panda suit in the crowd behind the goal as well. So mascots galore. Is the corner taken short. Velasquez gets to the byline, looks for something
Foxy
inside. It was
chance.
Fox, and it's eventually back into the hands of Olsen. Bit of a strange one there. I don't know if it was a shot that came in from Locomotive or a pass back.
It looked like a back pass to me.
It definitely did. I guess there's always that, or the way that it normally is called is the back pass is... if it threatens to be an own goal, then the goalie's essentially allowed to catch it. And that's more or less how I see the back pass rule governed more often than not. Locomotive, though, looking a little bit more dangerous these last few minutes, especially getting Sebastian Velasquez on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, he's been very impressive this game. I think as far as, just making runs and dribbling goes, this has probably been his best game since he's
Foxy's gotten
team.
forward, gets past his man. He's into unfamiliar territory in terms of dribbling. He lays it off to Nick Ross out there on the left-hand side. Good cross in, just headed away by Vegas. The waiting head of Kiesewetter just denied the contact with the ball there.
Yeah, he's itching for it.
He's gotten into the right areas as Richie Ryan now plays that ball forward. Nick Ross chips it through. Kiesewetter. Kiesewetter. He's gone down in the area. Penalty.
Hopefully.
I believe a penalty has been given. I think a penalty has been given. I'm pretty sure. For the foul against Jerome Kiesewetter. It was chipped through. Kiesewetter with a really good opportunity there.
Just a bad touch.
And he gets a rake of cleat right down his knee. It is a penalty for Locomotive. And now Winalda's on the pitch, I believe. So who
he's
knows?
He's gotta be gone, right?
Who knows what's about to happen?
I don't think you can do that.
I think basically their grievance is that they say that Kiesewetter's gone down too easily. In my mind, the contact's been made. Kiesewetter definitely exaggerates the contact, but with our luck on penalties, if you don't make it plainly obvious to the referee that you've been fouled, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. You're not going to be given a penalty for trying to be honest and stay on your feet. Mm-hmm. That's just not going to happen.
So sell it. You got to do it.
Yeah. Kiesewetter over the penalty. He won the penalty in the first place. He's over it now with a chance to give Locomotive the lead just about 7 minutes before the halftime whistle. Kiesewetter slides it in, and
no one's there.
No one is there to follow it in. It is saved by Olsen. It was a weak penalty from Kiesewetter, it has to be said. Easily savable. Olsen guessed right, and God, that is a big missed opportunity for Locomotive. We've seen Kiesewetter take penalties in the past, and he normally puts a lot of power behind it. As Locomotive not done yet, though. Velasquez shot came in.
Blocked.
Appeals for handball not given as the shot is blocked. Vegas coming away with this one. Long ball, looking for the run of Tabori Taka. It's Kiffy tracking back. Tabori Taka, though, gets there first. Puts a cross in, and it's over the back line and out for a goal kick. He said that... he's given a corner, and he said that Ketterer touched it.
No way.
Or no, I guess he's given a deflection, maybe. It's a super poor penalty from Kiesewetter. And so... an odd thing there, because Kiesewetter, I think, has a chance to score from the rebound.
Yeah, I don't know if he assumed it was going in or what, but yeah,
the interesting thing about USL, and I'll talk about it, I guess, after this corner kick. Tabori Taka delivering for Vegas, low corner in, headed away at the near post. Nick Ross doing his duty there, and Locomotive just able to breathe a little bit as Vegas will look to put this ball back in. It's flicked on, headed on, and then collected by Ketterer.
He can grab that, right, if it was headed to
Yeah, he can.
Okay.
I think he's just opted not to. But the odd thing about penalty rules is that everywhere else in the world, basically minus USL, the law has changed. As the yellow card for Javon Torre, I believe that was for the actual penalty, has just been officially given, but it's Vegas's third yellow card of the game. The laws about penalties everywhere else in the world has changed to where the taker cannot score off a rebound on a penalty kick in a game. So whoever takes the penalty, once you shoot and it's saved, you can't score from the rebound until someone else touches the ball.
Okay, that's fair. I like that.
The issue is, as shot comes in from just outside the box, goal kick for Locomotive, as that one just went high and wide. I believe it was Parra on the edge of the area who actually took that one. But the odd thing about USL is they have not changed to the new IFAB guidelines, the new rules, as the rest of the world has, because the season started in March. The new rules were instituted in June, and they opted to stick with the old rules. I think mainly because a lot of the stipulations in the new rules also include VAR stuff. As Locomotive trying to get forward here, can they just create something before the half? Seb Velasquez, nice turn, slides the ball through. It's Nick Ross, slides it back.
Oh, a lot of pinball.
Vegas with pinball in the box, and eventually just put it behind for a corner. But the bottom line is that Jerome, based on USL's rules, could have scored because they haven't changed to the new rules yet. And I think maybe just that grain of doubt was in there where he's like, oh, I can't score from this.
Yeah, I mean...
Because his whole pursuit of the ball was very... Like, he sees the goalie dive, and then he just kind of half-heartedly jogs, where he may have gotten back to the rebound actually first.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, if that's... I don't think... I mean, he's not playing in any other leagues right now, so I don't know why that would have been, you know?
But he's probably watching other leagues.
Maybe.
Is my only thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously not trying to make excuses for the guy, but I think it's just a little bit of confusion that's been put into the game due to the fact that USL is playing essentially different rules from the rest of the world right now, in those little small kind of ways.
Yeah, I mean, my hot take about that is that I think that penalties should be a dead ball thing. I think it's almost too easy to score
Right.
off the rebounds there. So in my perfect world, I think
Like once it's taken,
yeah, then you start over. If it's
just a
saved,
goal.
you
It's
start
just
over
a goal
again.
kick. Like if it doesn't go in, like a hockey,
Yes,
a hockey
like a
shootout,
hockey shootout,
where
yeah.
if it's saved, you can't score from the rebound. You can't try to score again. As this long
Exactly.
switch from Andrew Fox finds Omar Salgado initially, but then it's Javon Torre who puts it into touch, and now Locomotive will have a throw. There is a minute of regular time still left to be played here in the first half. We'll see how much time is added on. Quite a few stoppages, especially for the penalty. Couple of big fouls, couple of potential injuries. Omar kind of going down a blind alley, does well to win the corner there. Marked by 2 Vegas players. Yeah, Vince, I think Vegas has been dangerous in parts. Is kind of they haven't been consistently very dangerous, but they can break very quickly, and it can all of a sudden go very bad as Velasquez is over this corner, right as the clock is about to hit 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Long towards the far post, headed away. Kiffy was kind of running in towards that one, but Tabori Taka tries to come away with it, can't control it, and it'll be a Locomotive throw.
Yeah, I think
still
if
waiting for
you're-
stoppage time.
I think if you're defining danger as like shots on target, then yeah, maybe not too dangerous, but the counterattack has been very concerning. Anytime if they get the ball and they're already running towards goal, they're beating us every time. They're too fast for us in that regard. We've just done an okay job of recovering and stopping them. Only 3 minutes.
3 minutes added on, which, I mean, in fairness to the referee, is kind of a lot for a first half.
True.
But it'll be interesting to see, whether there's more at the end of the game as well. Because I do think that there's a case to be made that there should be like 4 or 5. But Locomotive here trying to play through the midfield, opts to play it back. They do have time here to fashion a chance. Plenty of stoppage time still to be played, as we're just through the first of 3 minutes. Velasquez does well to control that one, slides it through. Kiesevetter's out on the right. He chips a cross in towards Salgado, and it was not deflected. It will be a goal kick for Vegas. Just kind of misjudged that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the thought process. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anyone there to put a low cross into, and I don't think he had a shot. So, got to do what you got to do.
I also don't mind, especially here towards the end of the half, the switch of Salgado running central. Just for that one sequence, Salgado running central and Kiesevetter dropping wide, and just giving Vegas something else to kind of worry about, and not being so consistent. With who is going to be where in an attacking sense, so that Vegas can mark more easily. As this ball played out to Rebellon.
Oof.
Dangerous little back pass there. They were looking for the 1-2. The long ball eventually finds a Vegas foot, and they're going to opt to play it back. Just about held in there. And the long ball eventually controlled by Andrew Fox, down for Richie Ryan, and then out wide for Kiffy. Long ball.
Handball? Maybe not.
Controlled by Vegas. Yeah, it looked a little strange, but it is into the path of Locomotive. They have space if they can find the right player. Velasquez with a typically amazing turn on the ball. And then another hard foul on Sebastian Velasquez. He's just getting abused in this first half, and Winalda's hands fly up once again. Vegas protesting so strongly, and it's strange because it's pretty clear foul. I think
that they feel a little hard done by. I think for almost every foul, they have sincerely believed that they weren't. So I guess I can understand where they're coming from, but they're wrong.
Yeah. No, it is interesting because they feel very aggrieved, but they also could have had a player sent off inside 20 minutes. So as Richie Ryan with a ball in towards that right-hand side, and the referee has blown the whistle for halftime. It is 0-0. Locomotive and Las Vegas going toe to toe here, really. Back and forth. It's been a very up and down game for both teams. Eric Winalda, very vocal so far this half about the refereeing. Although I would say that it hasn't been bad. I don't think. I think it's been all right. It's been the first time we've basically gotten a decision this whole season.
Yeah, it's. I think that it's been tight, but also I don't think that we've had too many called on us. But I think because we've been defending pretty well,
Yeah.
that might be why another reason why they feel hard done by, because they have had a lot of fouls called on them, but not so many on us. But trying to be as neutral as possible, I really don't think that there's been too much that we've gotten away with per se.
No. And the foul, Locomotive's best chance came from a foul on Jerome Kiesewetter, who went to take the penalty, and he took a very weak penalty, saved by Olsen. And so we are all square, 0-0 here at the half. We are going to take a quick break and just kind of collect ourselves here at halftime, and we will see you guys. Hopefully you stick around for the second half, because at 0-0 I think there's going to be quite a bit of drama still left in this game, especially with 3 Vegas players on yellow cards. A lot can happen.
Absolutely.
We've seen a game for Vegas, I believe, against Tacoma, I want to say. They finished with 8 men, had 3 sendings off. So it is possible to see a crazy second half, and hopefully you guys will join us for it. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, while the while the ESPN Plus broadcast was still at commercial, the second half started, and a substitution's being made by Vegas. Cruz Jr. is on. I'm not sure who's come off because, again, the broadcast was on commercial. Okay, Fair is coming on. Very strange because the substitution's been made after the half. No, it has to be a second yellow, right? Has something happened? No. What? I have no idea what's happened. I don't know if there's been an injury or what. Ketterer catches the cross in from Vegas's right, but could not tell you what's gone on. Vegas have made a substitution here in the early stages, but kickoff occurred during a commercial break. So credit to Vegas's production team out there, just absolutely killing it. As Locomotive now playing out from the back. So, yeah, absolutely no idea why. There's been a substitution already for Vegas inside the first, literally like at 45-45, there was a substitution. The game came back from commercial having already kicked off. So I have no idea what happened in those intervening 45 seconds to have Vegas make a substitution. It wasn't a halftime substitution. It was like just after halftime. Fair came off. Kiffy's got a yellow card, apparently, and we didn't see any of it. So,
wow.
Credit to just ESPN Plus just consistently finding new ways to be just absolutely, like, just so strange in the way that things are being produced. But regardless, I'm glad I watched that commercial for a local Las Vegas dentistry practice. Rather than whatever the hell happened right after the kickoff.
They might have paid good money for that commercial, Phil.
As now Para goes down under the challenge from Yuma, but referee not giving anything there. And Locomotive able to play through midfield. Velasquez turning on the ball again. Not able to get past his challenger, though. And now Vegas coming back the other way. And again, just things getting a little crowded there in the midfield for both teams. As now Cruz Jr., who's come on for Vegas for Fair, who I don't think we called Fair's name the entire first half, put a cross in, headed away by Locomotive. Kiesewetter able to hold it in,
He's
plays
so
it to
far
Salgado.
back. He's playing as one of the defenders.
And Locomotive now able to have some possession in earnest, I would say, for the first time since the second half returned from the commercial break. Yeah, Vince saying they were too excited about the cash drop, and I agree. That's what I guess it was. They probably did pay for the ad time, but they had to push all the ads because they were televising the cash drop. So they sacrificed broadcasting the actual game in favor of playing commercials, so that they could play the cash drop. That's a good spot and a good shout, Vince. As Vegas back in possession here. And that pass rolls harmlessly back to Locomotive's back line, and Richie Ryan able to play out. The color of the grass out there on the infield, the color of the turf covering the infield, really causing some problems with the white jerseys.
Yeah. I don't know if it has to do with the lights, if the lights are just making the reflection of the grass shine a little more, or what.
Long ball from Rebellon, and the offside flag was up against Nick Ross. I'm not really sure how, honestly, because he looked level with the last defender, really up until the last moment. He didn't really have any lead on that last defender, but the flag did go up, so it wouldn't have counted even if he could have gotten on the end of it.
Yeah, no protest either, so...
Yeah, just a thumbs up in the direction of Brian Rebellon, who spotted that pass. But again, I mean, Locomotive, me and Mika talked about it a little bit, going a little more direct in attack, just a few more long balls. Obviously still playing out from the back, still trying to build, but when the opportunity arises, they are looking for that long pass to potentially create that opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's good, just to switch it up every now and then and kind of just make sure that the defense stays awake, for all 90 minutes.
Another long ball here. Andrew Fox looking for the run of Omar Salgado. I think he will just track this down and keep it in. He's one-on-one with his man. Cuts it in towards the left, puts that cross in towards the back post. Nick Ross, it bounces. Will the shot be able to come in as a penalty has been given again?
That one's
James Kiffey fouled in the area, and the penalty's been given.
a little soft.
It may have been a little soft. But Locomotive with another chance from the penalty spot, and it'll be interesting to see, does Jerome Kiesewetter take it again? Because I think Seb Contreras would be. Oh, I think it is a clear penalty, honestly.
I didn't see if it's because of the feet, not the hands. Yeah. If it is, I didn't see the feet before.
Yeah. I think he does completely take out James Kiffey's legs. There is clear contact, and Vegas's protestation is just very. I'd say desperate almost at this point, as Sebastian Velasquez is over the penalty and has a chance to score his first goal for Locomotive from the penalty spot.
Let's see what happens here.
Velasquez with a pretty short run-up he's given himself. Velasquez blasts it home! Sebastian Velasquez with his first goal for Locomotive gives Locomotive the lead in Vegas. Embraced by his teammates as well. Kiesewetter giving up the penalty duties there, having missed the first penalty. Sebastian Velasquez making no mistake there, blasting home from 12 yards.
Yeah, I think he goes straight down the middle too, if I'm seeing this correctly. So credit to him for just making sure he made good contact, didn't think about it too much, didn't try to do anything too fancy, just doing what he needs to do to get Locomotive on the board.
Yep, gets a hold of it and gives Locomotive the lead. Such a vital goal too. 53rd minute, and things obviously very kind of in the balance, end to end, trying to find that advantage, and now Locomotive have found the breakthrough.
Yeah, and Las Vegas is going to be very, very frustrated. I feel like they're just going to kind of start playing, with reckless abandon, so... Oh, I thought that ball went. I lost that ball completely.
Yeah, the white balance is really messing us up here, but Kiesewetter's getting forward. He's got options.
Give him some space,
just can't
Omar.
Get out of his feet. Omar makes a strange run kind of towards Kiesewetter. I thought Kiesewetter might have been obstructed there, but referee's not giving it. And now, I mean, with the protestations of Vegas, do you think it may have worked in their favor almost, as Torre lets loose from distance, Javon Torre, who has scored a screamer so far this season, unable to find the net there. Luckily for Vegas, it's high over the bar for a goal kick. But I mean, is there a chance maybe that since he's now given the 2 penalties for Locomotive, that in the back of the referee's mind, he's not going to give anything kind of borderline Locomotive's way?
I don't know. I didn't see anything there. I wasn't asking for anything there myself, so I don't know if I can comment on that.
Yeah. Throw, Kiffey played it off a Vegas player, and it's ultimately out for a Locomotive throw, and then miscontrolled by Seb Velasquez, and now Vegas have a throw, and we've seen this a couple of times, these long throws up towards the front line. It finds Ivan Para, well ushered by Chiro and Toko. It is a Vegas throw, and I'd almost expect them to throw it into the penalty area, almost like a corner.
Yeah, they've got the arms for it, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, those throw-ins, they're taking them fast and they're taking them long, and it hasn't been a terrible idea. So we need to stay awake too, because they could very easily catch us sleeping there.
Yeah, long throw is going to come in to the area. It's headed away by Richie Ryan, and then Velasquez jumps for it. On the edge of the area is Para. It may just break here, though. Nick Ross running away, and
play stopped.
Play is stopped. Richie Ryan down. I guess a free kick was given to Locomotive, but unless he's worried about a head injury, he shouldn't have stopped playing.
No, Ross had a lot of space in front of him.
Yeah. He somehow pulled it back despite Locomotive having the biggest of advantages in that case on the counter. But here, Richie Ryan sprays a pass out wide for Omar Salgado, headed away by Javon Torre. One back by Brian Rebillon, though. Velasquez able to turn, rolls it out for Salgado. He's got Kiesewetter inside of it. tries to chip it in towards Kiesewetter. It's behind for a corner kick.
I like to see those passes just come in a little bit earlier.
Yeah. And maybe just slid through rather than attempting the cross.
Yeah. But
keeping it central almost.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Omar do that, so maybe that's just not in his arsenal.
I'd almost just rather see him cut onto his left and try to shoot.
Yeah, that too.
As we said in the first half, I think he needs to maybe add that danger. But now Kiffy able to take this corner. It is long to the far post. Can it be headed back in? No, it's headed away. It will be a throw for Locomotive. I don't think we have the long throw capabilities necessarily, or we haven't shown that in the past. As Nick Ross over to take this one. I think it will be taken short, and it is to the feet of Sebastian Velasquez. 1-2 with Nick Ross, and then the flag is up against Nick Ross for straying offside once he re-entered the field of play. So a little bit of a waste.
Yeah, that frustrates me.
Vegas opting to play it short, out from the back. Kiesewetter providing the pressure. Omar trying to press Javon Torre as well, and does enough to get him off the ball. They've won it high back up the pitch. Kiesewetter on it from that pass from Velasquez. He's got Velasquez in the center, crosses it back in. Ross was in there waiting for the header. It's headed away by Vegas, and it will be a throw for Locomotive. But again, in that case, Omar doing a really good job of pressuring and tracking that run from Javon Torre as he kind of ran into midfield, pressuring him, putting him off enough just to win that ball back. And Locomotive nearly creating something pretty dangerous there. Probably have to fashion a shot, though, from a situation like that.
Yeah, at least an attempt, but nothing doing here.
As now it's played out wide by Andrew Fox. Kiffy looking for maybe an early cross, just dawdled on the ball a little bit, and it's won back by Vegas. Pressure on Olsen. The ball's chested down in the end, and Kiesewetter went for the ball. I think the free kick's gone Locomotive's way, and it has. Kiesewetter doing, I think a good job of just positioning, but he did try to win the ball, and the pressure in the end provided a free kick in a good area for Locomotive. Seb Velasquez standing over this one. Looks like he'll probably swing a left-footed cross in there and see if somebody can get on the end of it. We'll take another look. Yeah, it's just a stretch from the defender, catches Kiesewetter, and
yeah, that was
probably a foul.
That was a good job of Kiesewetter to come back for that too, because I think that would have been really easy for the defender to just pick back up and move it upfield. But
absolutely,
credit to him for that.
Vegas setting their defensive wall, still remonstrating with the referee. De La Fuente, the captain, has had quite a few words for the referee. Be interesting to see how long that goes on before he gets the customary Richie Ryan red or yellow card for dissent.
Yeah.
As Velasquez floats this one towards the back post. He was looking for Andrew Fox, but Olsen again wise to it and able to come out and collect. And they're breaking the other way through Sandoval. He rolls it out wide. Is De La Fuente trying to find Parra, but a good tackle or a good interception by Chiro Intoko. The camera's showing Winaldo once again, and I wouldn't be shocked if he's got more words for the referee. Not in the right, but it's just how the match has gone and how Vegas kind of feel they've been dealt with. Even though I think overall the referee's done a pretty decent job trying to manage for my own bias as well.
Yeah, I think that this has been one of the games that we can actually be pretty happy about.
Absolutely.
As far as refereeing is concerned.
Yeah, and Irv in the chat. Sorry, I just saw your comment, but just saying, he said that was more of a penalty than the first one just because of the obstruction. And I think there's a good case there just because of the amount of contact on Kiffy there, trying to get to the ball, obviously, and just obstructed. Lots of contact. Whereas the first one, plenty of contact. Kiesewetter obviously making the most of it. But when you have your cleats rake down your calf as well, that is definitely a penalty, and Kiffy's was as well. So 2 pens. I would say rightly given for Locomotive. And Vegas getting forward. Andrew Fox was asking for the offside flag. It wasn't forthcoming, but Richie Ryans won it back really well. And now Locomotive getting forward down this right-hand side. Omar running into traffic, and De La Fuente plays it out. Omar does really well, actually, to win that throw because he didn't have a lot of support. Had 2 Vegas players on him, and now that we've played an hour, I mean, Locomotive look good value for the lead. Like, they look like they've deserved to be ahead.
Yeah, they've coming out into this second. I think the first half was pretty evenly contested. Coming out into the second half, they've
long
been the
ball
better
forward.
Team.
Can they find the right pass?
Why is he waiting?
Kiesewetter was in a good area, and they just waited a little too long to play the pass. That pass through was absolutely brilliant. And in the end, they could not find the correct pass back to Kiesewetter. I think the cutback would have been the right decision there.
Yes.
If he gets his head up and sees him there, it's an easy goal for Jerome, or at least a good
shot,
opportunity
yeah.
on goal.
Instead of nothing.
And instead, they've come back the other way, Vegas, and they force a throw. They're gonna treat these like free kicks, as we've seen. So this is going to be a long throw into the box, that long flat trajectory, just trying to treat it as a free kick, trying to create a goal scoring opportunity as they basically set up in a corner kind of fashion. Throw comes into the waiting arms of Logan Ketterer.
A little bit of a bobble, I think.
Yeah, goes to the ground just to ensure that he held on to it. And Locomotive are going to be able to play out from the back once again. He throws it out to Chiro and Toko. Rolled into the feet of Omar Salgado, who's not quite able to hold on to it, but Brian Rebellon able to maintain possession for Locomotive. Rebellon kicked, as is tradition in Locomotive colors. Brian Rebellon has been one of our most fouled players. If I had to pick one, he's probably been across this season the most fouled.
Yeah, between him and maybe Richie.
Yeah, that's a good shout as well. Just the amount of touches they have is Richie, really good turn to play that ball through to Yuma, but just a little sloppy out of midfield. Javon Torre trying to get forward. He was a little sloppy in possession as well, and Kiesewetter has actually won it back. Long ball forward, finds Sebastian Velasquez, who just holds it in. Really well done from Seb. Lays it off to Omar Salgado. He's going to cut into a shooting area. Curls it and just wide. Well done. What we were saying, and it is tipped. It is tipped behind for a corner. We were saying that Omar should cut in and shoot, and I mean, he sure let one fly there.
The curl on that ball was just incredible.
Omar Salgado back for the first time at Cashman Field against the team that he spent last season on loan with, right after he signed for what was then known as El Paso USL. Nearly getting a goal against his former club, but still a chance here for Locomotive from the corner. Corner comes in. Richie nods it over the bar, and it was just the way it came to him. It was deflected, and it was. I think he didn't really expect it to come. I didn't think he expected the ball to come to him so quickly. So he didn't react quite quickly enough and got underneath that one, tipped over the bar, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, good job creating a chance from a set piece. That's usually not one of our strong suits, but good job for getting to it that time.
I thought that was a handball from Sandoval. And it's a handball from Sandoval and like a deliberate handball as well, which is normally a yellow card. Just saying. And Sandoval's already on a yellow.
Yeah, I was going to say, does he have a yellow?
So I think that's more or less made the referee's mind up for him because he's not going to send him off for a handball, I guess. Although, rules of the game, he probably should. But they haven't shown that one back. So I guess we'll have to let that one lie.
That means we can probably assume that it was a handball.
Yeah. Yeah, the Vegas production team not ready to show that one back, and yeah, Vince using the Loteria. Have you seen the Loteria poster?
I have.
Yeah.
I was able to take a look at it.
So using the Loteria nickname for Omar El Guapo. And that was I really it's one of those where you want Omar, especially in moments like that. Well, one, for Locomotive to get goals like that, because we haven't scored a lot of goals from outside the box. We haven't scored a lot of, I mean, Edson's absolutely ridiculous bicycle kick aside, we haven't scored a lot of like low percentage goals this season. So
Right.
you just want to see something like that fly in, because we haven't had much luck from that, and Omar just a little bit unlucky for that not to go in. Vegas, though, getting forward now. Cruz putting in a cross,
Oh, yeah.
which I think is fitting. But Rebellon eventually able to clear that one. Kieswetter will chase it down, and it'll come down for Velasquez. Omar will run away with
job,
it.
Omar.
Central. He may have a shooting opportunity, but may have just waited a little bit long as the shot is blocked, and I think it's behind for a corner. Well done by Omar to create the opportunity there, but also good tracking back from Vegas, it has to be said, to block that shot. I believe it was Lopez who was screaming back on that right-hand side to get back for Vegas and stop that from being a dangerous opportunity. Irv is saying every through ball has been a good chance for El Paso. It's gonna happen in the 70th minute. I'd agree with that. I think you will. I think we'll get a good opportunity here. Kiffy with a chance to deliver from another corner here, headed away by Torre, and then the foul given. Locomotive. I think it was Rebellon committing the foul there, and now a little bit of afters with Sebastian Velasquez and Tabori Taka, and now it's kind of gone off here. Sebastian Velasquez has been booked. I'm not sure why he's the only one that's been booked. He didn't really do anything. He just picked the ball up. But Sebastian Velasquez booked there just for the extracurriculars, I guess, or for picking the ball up. It was a bit of a strange one, honestly. Foul comes in. It's a foul from Rebellon. And then there's a coming together between Para and Rebellon. Para kind of throws a little bit of an arm out at Rebellon for no reason. I guess it's water under the bridge now. Velasquez, though, booked. Loose touch there from Vegas, nearly Velasquez onto the end of it. But Vegas able to regain possession, and now they're restarting things through midfield. It's chipped through the center. Tabori Taka, it's brought down, shot comes in, and it's just wide. Goal kick given in the end. It was just wide from Ivan Para. He is dangerous no matter which way you slice it. Headed down from Tabori Taka, and Para does not waste any time getting that shot off. And it's just wide of Logan Ketterer's left-hand post. There will be another change made here. It is Rivas coming on. Fair is off. Could have swore Fair was off already. Little bit strange. Anyways, my feed's gone a little wonky as well. Foul here. Locomotive player brought down. They definitely signaled that Fair had gone off in the first half. Let me take a look at what actually happened. Nope, they haven't said. So strange. Okay, anyways. Well, yeah, Fair was waiting at the sideline to get off. I think it was more so a time stipulation, because you know how long guys can take to be substituted when a team is winning. As that ball chipped through for Jerome Kieswetter, played behind by Robinson in the end for Vegas. Taking quickly. Locomotive here. Sebastian Velasquez shaping to shoot. He's chipped it back for Jerome Kieswetter. He puts a cross in, and he just waited a little too long. It's deflected behind. We are across 70 minutes into the 71st. It is another corner for Locomotive. Quite a few corners in this one. Gosh, it has been. This will be the 10th corner of the game for Locomotive, and can they make one of these count is the question. 71st minute, James Kiffey whips one in towards the near post, and it's connected by Andrew Fox, but it's straight up in the air, and Olsen is able to catch it. Vegas survived that one. Fox with a better connection there. It's a certain goal, but he did well to get in the right area. He just didn't make the right contact on the ball. Probably came off of his shoulder, if we're being honest, as Vegas trying to chip this ball forward, and it's been played out behind. For a goal kick. At first, I was worried that the referee was actually signaling for for a corner, which would have been absurd. But yeah, that ball initially chipped through, and it was Rivas, the substitute, who was nearly on the end of it. Now Torre collects the long kick from Ketterer, and Velasquez commits a foul. Velasquez, obviously, he's on a yellow, so just has to be a little wary of that. As Vegas try to start the play quickly through Torres, but he was trying to take it from the wrong position. It's knotted down. Sandoval just on the edge of the area. It's all a little strange. Rivas slides the ball through. Yuma comes away with the ball with a good slide tackle. Well done. It had to be perfect in the box, and it was. He gets all of the ball, and no protestations really from any Vegas players. You'd expect, obviously, with the penalties given, but Yuma doing really well there, wins the ball. De La Fuente went down, and now Locomotive able to clear the ball, but only as far as Lopez. Vegas getting forward again. Tabori Taka ghosting into the area, and the ball is just played away by Andrew Fox. Little bit of a hairy moment as Velasquez tries to turn on the ball there. Can't quite get possession. Lights coming back once again. Good sliding challenge once again, that time from Kiffey. And now it's played forward for Salgado. It's 2-on-2 for Locomotive. Can he find the right pass or the shot? Looks for the shot, and it's wide. He just could not wrap his foot around it and get the power. We saw kind of a similar chance against Tulsa late on where he was through on goal, didn't really get the right connection, and perhaps just a little bit of being in his own head about that one once he gets into a good area. Kiesewetter was up in support. It would have taken a really good pass to find Kiesewetter past two Lights defenders, but now Vegas getting forward again. Rivas chips a cross in, and it's well over the bar and out for a goal kick, so pressure's off for the time being. But Vegas still presenting quite a bit of threat. Locomotive sort of doing what teams do to us most times, where we've got the lead, we know we can defend, and then look to break.
Yeah, no, and I have liked the way they've looked since they scored the goal. Honestly, it hasn't... Oh, we have a hydration break here. It hasn't looked much different than how they played the first half, and it's been very entertaining to watch. And, it's been one of those games that has been fast-paced, but it has not been a sloppy game either, right. So that's always good to see.
Shout out to the little girl chugging Jarritos during the hydration break. But yeah, it is a hydration break for both teams. Interesting to see that Vegas had made two substitutions, and Torres and Torre have not been either of those taken off.
Yeah.
Given the fact that they're on yellows and potentially, all it takes is one moment for them to see red. I still am not 100% sure who came off, because they signaled that Fair came off when Cruz came on, and then they said that Fair came off when Rivas came on as well. So I'm still trying to figure out who actually came off. I think Villarreal may have came off because I haven't called his name.
Yeah, according to the USL website, Villarreal was the 46-minute substitute.
So I believe it must have been an injury, or something that happened. Kiffy was given a yellow. Villarreal must have been the player that was subbed. I don't know exactly why. But yeah, Villarreal came off, and then Fair was actually substituted. So it was just a graphics issue on the broadcast when they said that Fair was coming off for Cruz. But now Cruz and Rivas both on, Villarreal and Fair off. And Locomotive still leading 1-0, but given away in midfield there. Is a foul going to be given? Nope. Ball had already gone. Sandoval kind of went over Yuma's feet. Chiro just having a chat with him about the the pros and cons of diving on the edge of the area, as they say, I guess. Chiro's been pretty strong about when he thinks someone's gone down or dived, if you will. Last game against Tulsa, someone went down in the area looking for a penalty late in the game. Referee waved it away. No issues as this ball comes in, cleared away by Yuma. Kiesewetter will chase and nearly gets to it, but as they say, don't let the ball bounce as a defender, and Vegas let it bounce a couple of times there, but they do escape, and it's Torres, the midfielder, looking for a long ball forward, looks for that long diagonal, headed away by Fox. Play switched back now. De La Fuente to Cruz. Cruz on this right-hand side. Looking for a cross. Plays it back to Tabori Taka.
So once we've slowed them down, I think the defense has been great. Once we've gotten them to play half-court football or half-field football,
yeah.
I think that we've definitely succeeded there. It's just when they're countering, that's when it's been scary. But as soon as we can stop that counter, we've had it under control.
Yeah, the organization has been really good in the just nice, compact defense. As that shot came in from distance, and it was able to be cleared eventually by Salgado. Comes for Robinson in the end, and Vegas will have the opportunity to attack once again. Locomotive really looking to defend the 1-0 and then hit on the break, which we haven't had the lead on the road that much, so we haven't seen this all that often. As the first substitution of the game, I'd be willing to bet Velasquez will be the one substituted. I cannot read the board. For whatever reason, they've got some kind of privacy tape over it or something. Could not see, and it is actually Kiesewetter who is going to come off. Josue Aron Gomez is going to come on, who scored his first ever goal for Locomotive. Mark Lowry with a high five and an embrace for Kiesewetter there as he comes off. Just a little bit of fresh legs, do you think, for Locomotive, kind of saving Kiesewetter?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's still maybe not 100. I'm sure he's at 100%, but still kind of shaking the rust off from that long injury break.
Absolutely.
I think, was he a sub in the last game?
Kiesewetter?
Yeah.
No, he started.
Oh, he
started. He's actually started the last two.
Okay.
Since he came back from injury, which is a lot of football to be played. When you play, I think he played all 90 minutes of both, which is just, it is a lot to ask of a guy who's spent about 7 weeks on the sidelines.
Yeah, and I think that, he's probably frustrated that he missed his chance to get on the board too. He didn't seem to be too happy coming off the field, but that's probably, I'm guessing, why he's not unhappy about the substitution, just knows he didn't do what he could have done.
Yeah, and now Josue Aron Gomez with his fresh legs able to chase a ball down this left-hand channel. It was a long clearance, and eventually he gets onto the end of it, and he's just kind of
you don't see that too
waiting
much.
with the ball, no pressure.
Omar,
in the center of the area, maybe with a chance on his right. It's blocked. It might fall for Gomez. It's in! Let's go! Josue Aron Gomez, his second goal in 2 games. in the 81st minute for Locomotive gives us a 2-0 lead in Vegas, and what a goal and what a time to score just after he came on the field. Omar, it looked like the chance had gone. The block shot fell straight to Josue Gomez, who made no mistake with his right foot and slotted it home.
Such a powerful shot.
Absolutely class finish from Josue Aron Gomez. The loanee from FC Juarez comes in and makes an impact for El Paso Locomotive, and for the second game in a row, literally moments after he had been introduced.
Yeah, good for him, man. And it's just shows he has not had, at least from what I can remember, he has not had a bad game that he's appeared in. So really good pickup, and it's really paid off for us as a team.
Nick Ross providing some pressure there. Locomotives just congesting that midfield, trying to keep Vegas from getting forward, but Rivas able to put a dangerous cross in. Luckily, no Vegas players on the end of it, and it will roll behind for a goal kick. But now into the last 10 minutes, what a time to grab that second goal.
Definitely. It's and by looks like there's some more extracurriculars there. Oh,
Sandoval
took a swing there. He's got a
couple of swings at Locomotive players. It was Fox there, just a little bit of afters, but Sandoval already on a booking. He's hit a player in the face. I'm not sure how he's not been given a second
way
yellow.
you can't do that.
And now Ketterer being talked to by the referee after all that.
I think Ketterer's upset. He's being talked to because he showed his frustration with the lack of discipline for Sandoval there. Lack of discipline against Sandoval, rather.
And now another substitution for Locomotive. I'd be willing to bet this is Velasquez. Contreras, I'd be willing to bet it's Seb for Seb, just due to the yellow card. And it will be a like for like, I guess you would say. Sebastian for Sebastian. Velasquez actually limping off to the far touchline there. And Vegas readying a substitution of their own. Rojas being readied.
That'll be their final sub.
And that will be their last sub. Rojas, not sure who he's been introduced for, but Sebastian Contreras entering the game. I mean, one can only hope that it has the same impact as Josue Aron Gomez's introduction to the match.
Yeah, that would be great. I think that Contreras' contribution to the team has kind of not as necessarily his contribution. I think his role on the team has diminished a little bit.
Yeah.
With the addition of Velasquez.
Yeah.
But you hope that he still comes on and is looking to give 110% and be that player that he was. The first 10 weeks or so for us.
Rojas has come on for Lopez, who was playing at right back. And, I mean, you'd have to imagine, I'm not sure what role Rojas plays in their team, but I'd have to be willing to bet that it is an attacking change, given the fact that they are now 2 goals down, just 6 minutes of regular time left to play. Josue Aron Gomez really chasing things down as Vegas passing it around the back. Really why he's been brought on, just to it was really to provide pressure, and now it looks like a genius stroke because he's also scored
instantly.
And this ball eventually cleared out by Locomotive, and as you can see, Gomez just chasing everything down with his fresh legs. Rebellon able to win that header, Gomez onto it, and Lights have a lot of people press forward. Locomotive looking to just slow things down, and Sandoval has run into Salgado there. It's a second yellow for Sandoval, and he will be sent off. It's a red. Number 88, Sandoval, Junior Sandoval, sent off for Las Vegas Lights. And now that he's been sent off, he's also trying to have a go at Omar Salgado and the referee, De La Fuente, over as well. Rebellon took a shot in the build-up to that foul as well. I don't think it's one of those where essentially on a yellow card, you can't go into a challenge like that.
Yeah.
Not dissimilar to what Richie did against RGV, where even if it's fair, even if it's a fair challenge, you can't go into it like that when you're on a yellow.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think that the contact was intentional.
Mm-mm.
You know, I think it looked worse because Omar did leave his feet.
I think Omar, to an extent, is trying to avoid the challenge as well.
And it's just, it looks painful.
Makes it
it's
look
knee
a lot.
to knee,
It makes
too.
it look a lot worse. Because I mean, let's be real. Junior Sandoval does win the ball, but he also kicks through Omar, which on any given day can also be given as a foul and a yellow. We saw, for those who watched the Tulsa match as well, Yuma was given a lecture by the referee for a tackle where he went in, he slid in very hard, won the ball, didn't touch the player at all, and was given a lecture about if you had made contact, I could have sent you off. So that's a very, like, let's be real about if there's contact, it doesn't matter if you've won the ball. That's really how in the modern game, that's how it's going to be refereed. Because player safety is going to be taken into account much more than whether they won the ball or not. And in that case, he's kicked through the ball. He's caught Omar. He was on a yellow, and it was always likely, especially with the force of the challenge, that he was going to see a second yellow. Locomotive maybe finally just this once has gotten the rub of the green, as they say, on these decisions. Got a little bit of luck. But I will say too that Junior Sandoval sending off, as much as Vegas was not responsible for this, is making up for James Kiffey's sending off in Phoenix, because it's although I would say it's probably more of a justified sending off than Kiffey's.
Definitely 100%. I still don't understand why Kiffey was sent off. Well, I mean, I understand it, but I have not come to peace with it.
I still have not come to terms with the result in Phoenix. Free kick given to Locomotive there in their own area. Andrew Fox just directing traffic, looking for a target with this long ball. Ultimately not able to be kept in by Gomez on that long ball. 88th minute. Lights obviously will be pressing to try to get back into this one. Not a lot of time left to make something happen, as that long ball from Torre, not a good one, cut out by Locomotive. It's cut across from Gomez to Omar Salgado, and he just takes like one too many touches. Maybe could have let fly, as Richie Ryan does well to hold on to that one, but Yuma can't find his target with the pass, and now Lights are breaking back the other way. Tabor Itaka holds it in, chips it to the far post, headed away by Brian Rebellon. Really well done. Good piece of defending from Rebellon, the USL's mid-season defender of the year, living up to his name, and now he's gotten forward down the right. I don't think he's going to be too eager to put this cross in. He's just going to probably take this one to the corner. Maybe look for a pass off of Torre, and it is out for a Locomotive throw. They'll obviously take their time taking this one. Rebellon does put it in. Sebastian Contreras on the edge of the area. Nick Ross just opting to play it back for Yuma. Plays it back to Ross. Ross running into space. Contreras. Locomotive just showing that measured approach, the patience in possession that is needed at a time like this, just to help run the clock down. It is, we're into the 90th minute. It's a long ball forward, saved initially, and then in by Gomez. Josue Gomez with a brace in Vegas.
Beautiful. What a game for him.
He's come on, and you can look at what it means to Mark Lowry and the players here, as they've surely secured the 3 points with a 3-goal performance. It was an incredible take initially from Nick Ross. The long ball over the top to take it down and take the shot. A little unlucky that Olsen makes the save, but it fell kindly for Gomez to just slide it home with his favored left foot. And in the end, it is a 3rd goal for Locomotive, a 2nd goal of the game for Gomez. And that pass through, the take from Ross, and ultimately the finish from Gomez, all class all the way through.
Yeah, I think Ross could have scored there. I don't think he made the contact that he wanted to. It came off really softly off of his foot, but Gomez being in the right place at the right time, and that's fitting. As the sub for Kiesewetter, he's kind of the guy that you expect to do that. But for Gomez to come in and have that awareness is impressive.
Josue Gomez taking up the Partida role of scoring a brace as a substitute. We are also just getting word that Phoenix has scored against San Antonio
in the 89th
89th minute to take the lead and potentially extend their run of
victories.
Yeah, to what is it, like 20?
Is it 20 victories? I thought it was 20 non-losses.
No, I think it's 20 straight wins right now.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I don't think they've even drawn since literally like the beginning of the season, basically. A little bit of a coming together. It was a long throw in, little bit of a coming together. I think it's actually Yuma and Chiro that collided. No foul play suspected, but Chiro has stayed down, just kind of holding the back of his hamstring. Hopefully his words to the trainer are, I'm cramping up a little bit. I'm not really, because he is looking for a change, but I'm hoping that it's more about just he's played 180 minutes in 3 days and not a actual injury.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Having not watched the last game, I have kind of forgotten that they did just play like 3 days ago.
Yeah, Irv, absolutely agree with you that that could have been one of the goals of the week for sure, if Ross takes it down and finishes, because the first touch was absolutely silky, as now Moses McKinday coming on for Chiro and Toko. And if we know the way that Lowry sets up when Chiro is not on, we'd probably see Kiffy move to center back, McKinday out at left back. So it will be a kind of makeshift partnership here towards the end of the game. We're reaching the last 20 seconds of added time. I'm sure the referee will probably add more on, given the fact that Chiro's injury took up much of the stoppage time. Now a foul on Omar Salgado, this time by Rivas. And again, Locomotive, a chance to take a free kick here, take their time taking the free kick as well. Winalda is leaving. He's already off. He's left the field.
Interesting.
He's already gone to the locker room. As this ball slid through for Omar Salgado, who's onside.
Oh, shoot
Slides
it, Omar!
Across through. He should have been selfish and just shot. With a 3-0 lead, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of selfishness. Instead, he earns a free kick. No, it is the final whistle. Locomotive earned the 3 points in Vegas, getting revenge for the loss that they suffered at the hands of Vegas in El Paso.
That was the loss that kind of turned the tide for that midpoint of the season for us, too.
That's a good point.
This is a good one to come back and get those points back.
Grabbing the 3 points today, absolutely vital. A lot of hugs going out between the players. I'm sure there's between the lines there was no love lost, but now everybody having a handshake or two, except for Eric Winalda, who left the field before he could shake Mark Lowry's hand at the end of the match.
You wonder if that's if his form of protest for how he believes his team was treated this game.
Yeah, I'm extremely interested. For those who don't, go ahead and give Eric Winalda a follow on Twitter, because I'm feeling a rant incoming. He's pretty active on Twitter, so go ahead and see what Winalda tosses up. That is a fantastic performance for Locomotive. What a way to bounce back from what was a disappointing result against Tulsa, but what's been a disappointing couple of months, if we're being honest with ourselves. Both from a goal scoring perspective and from just an overall performance perspective. in that game, we did a good job of limiting Vegas at home and ultimately created the chances we needed to score the winning goals.
Yeah, it was a great game, and I think that this is a game that really reflected, as far as the scoreline, what the first game should have been. The last result against Las Vegas was not indicative of what was on the field. So good for us. Way to to realize that this was one that we really needed to finish strongly. I'm really happy with the way everyone performed.
Yeah, it is it's a vital 3 points that's been grabbed by Locomotive. Just looking at the implications in the table, that is going to put us up to, is this the live table? Yeah.
Yes.
So we actually jumped to 10th for the time being. San Antonio losing to Phoenix is, good news for us, honestly.
Yeah, better than either way, we would have been over even if they drew, but
yeah,
at least it gives us some breathing room.
So it puts us into that last playoff spot on 36 points, level on points with Orange County, and with a game in hand on a couple of teams ahead of us, namely Austin, who are just 3 points ahead of us now, having played a game more, and they're all the way in fourth. So that is indicative of how close this Western Conference run-in is going to be. There are just 8 games to play, so it's still 24 points to play for. Conceivably, in a pipe dream world, El Paso could finish the season with 50 points.
Yeah, and a home playoff game too. So that would be quite something to see. And I think we've got OCSC next week. So that'll be one that we definitely have to show up for. We're actually tied with them in points right now. They're just ahead of us on goal differential.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good one. And then Colorado Springs here at home. So hopefully, conceivably, 6 points that we can come up with. Nothing, we're done playing Phoenix. I think we've got one more against Fresno, and I think we're done against Reno too. So
yeah.
Or no, we've got one more against Reno too,
at home. Yeah. Enjoying the I am enjoying the symmetry to Locomotive season a little bit, in that we saw a turning point in a bad way against Vegas, as you said the last time out. It kind of that started our whole kind of winless streak. OCSC was our first ever win in franchise history, so there is a little bit of, if we can continue our form, if we play an away performance like this, we will come away from OC with the 3 points.
Yeah, and I think what's been great is that they showed it at the beginning of the game. The injury report was blank for us, and that's something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Absolutely.
And it's not a coincidence that, even though we haven't been winning every game, I think that we are kind of out of that slump that we were in for most of the summer.
Yeah, the injury bug not biting us quite as sharply anymore. There will still be the odd injury here or there, I'm sure, but we, as we look forward as well, pretty interesting as well to this will be the fact that Alexi Bassetti's visa came in today from the U.S. government, so he is eligible now to play for Locomotive, and yet another potential weapon in that attacking front. So we've gone from looking real threadbare in attack to all of a sudden we've got options for days, because Gomez now just has a brace.
Yeah, apparently he can just score on command now. So that's always exciting to see.
As we watch the goals back, I really feel for Nick Ross, because as happy as I am for Gomez getting his second, I feel for Nick Ross in that he should get the goal. Like, he deserves a goal just for how good that touch is. The pass through, great. Ultimately, 52% possession for Locomotive, which a little less than what we're used to, and 12 shots allowed for Las Vegas, but just one shot on target.
Yeah, like I said, except for possession, we had more possession of the ball last game, but I think as far as actual attacking goes, it was the same game as last time, except Las Vegas didn't get as lucky as they did the first time, and we were smarter about converting our chances.
I'm interested to see. I really wish this game had happened at Southwest University Park. I would love to ask Mark what he thought about Ronaldo leaving before the final whistle, because it's I don't know. It's one of those that's just like the unwritten rules of soccer, where the coaches shake hands at full time. I mean, it's just part of the game.
Yeah, that'll be.
Because basketball is kind of the same way. Like the coaches always shake hands at the final whistle.
Yeah, you don't see people walk off the field before the game's over. It's just something that's not done. So yeah, this will be interesting.
Set your notifications on for Eric Winalda's Twitter account. He was probably storming off the field to tweet, but yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the watch along. Obviously, you enjoyed the game, because what a performance from our Locos. What a way to bounce back. And yeah, we will be back with a full podcast episode on Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. If you haven't listened to the last one, you can still catch the recap of RGV and the recap of the whole Eighth Notch situation as well on iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, all of those podcast platforms. Some that I've never heard of as well. We're on those. And then, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe right here on YouTube. And we do these watch-alongs for every away game, so we'll be back for the OC game. And then we'll obviously be back with our normal coverage for the home match on the 21st. So lots to look forward to still on this exciting run-in towards hopefully a playoff spot for Locomotive. Thank you guys for joining, and until next time, stay loco.